we are aware of how pressure is measured, that is with help of barometer. Now we have to discuss another like similar concept here, because we are discussing here atomic structure, but we are discussing how pressure is measured, what is element, because this is all things we required here, so we can understand the concept very clearly. Now here we are focusing now on a topic, that is cathode rays experiment. Let us discuss this. In Germany there was a glass blower named as I don't know how to pronounce that, but either Gessler or Gessler, something name is like that. So that Gessler or Gessler, he produced a tube that is called as hard glass tube having electrodes fitted in it. Okay. Just we discussed barometer. At that time also we used the word hard glass tube. The thing is that atmospheric pressure is very, very high. In our further discussion at some point, not in this lecture, but in another lecture of physics, we are going to discuss what is that great value of atmospheric pressure. But right now I must, it must be very clear that pressure is equivalent to nearly weight of 3 elephants. So suppose hard glass tube, ordinary glass tube is kept, then what will happen? Suppose this is a tube. Atmospheric pressure, that is almost equivalent to 3 elephants. At a time they are pressing down the tube. But it is not breaking. Why it is not breaking? Because there is some opening, and from inside also same pressure is balanced out. But the moment you start evacuating this, evacuating means what? You have to remove air from this. As a result, pressure from here will decrease and then tube may break. So in order to avoid this rupture, we have to use here hard glass tube, so that can withstand this very, very high pressure. So for that purpose we are using here hard glass tube. Now Gessler, he produced hard glass tube. And he provided some good things to this hard glass tube. Again telling this is just schematic diagram. He put electrodes in this tube. At the same time, he was there to make provision here, so we can connect it to evacuation pump and we can evacuate this. So from here we are evacuating, that means what we are doing, removing air from the tube, whereas we placed here 2 electrodes. Let us consider this is as cathode. Cathode means here in this experiment we have to consider cathode as negative electrode and here positive, because when we discuss electrochemistry in that chapter we are considering at some stages negative is cathode, anode, and positive is cathode. So like that things are also there. Therefore I am telling you that negative is not always cathode, but in this experiment negative is cathode and positive is anode. So this way electrodes are fed. Now scientists started working on this hard glass tube provided with electrode. You are aware of electricity. If you are having a dry cell, pencil cell, or AAA battery, that something like that, you can check out the EMF or voltage given there is 1.5 volt. You can check out your mobile phone's charger. It is having input voltage something 230 to 110 volt, like that input voltage, whereas output voltage is 5 volt or plus than that. So like that various voltages we can convert with help of transformer. One type of transformer is called as step down transformer. What is the role of step down transformer? To decrease EMF, to reduce voltage. Say for example your cell phone charger, it reduces voltage from 230 volt to 5 volt or 6 volt depending upon the capacity. So transformer, one type is step down transformer. Other type of transformer is there, that is called a step up transformer, that is there to rise voltage. Now here the voltage rise is expected, so scientists started rising voltage inside this, whereas reducing pressure. You are aware now pressure is measured in terms of 760 mm of mercury. 760 mm of mercury is considered as 1 atmospheric pressure. With help of this evacuation pump, we can connect it to barometer and we can measure pressure inside. Scientists decrease out pressure till almost 10 millimeter of mercury. So atmospheric pressure now decreased to very great, not atmospheric pressure inside the tube, that was decreased to very great extent. That is almost 10 millimeter of mercury, that means 1 centimeter of mercury. And EMF implemented is more. Then they were able to observe some crackling noise in the tube. Later on, they were able to observe some lines of light inside the tube. Then onwards, entire tube was having some sort of glow, color. Then that were fragmented, and like that variety of thing. Ultimately, when pressure was in range of 0.1 mm of mercury, see 0.1 mm of mercury, almost vacuum, and then EMF, that voltage is above 8000 volt. At that time, suddenly there was a darkness in the tube, and then they observed the opposite side of cathode. This is cathode. Opposite side of cathode, the glass start emitting green color light. This is something strange. Light is not produced from inside part. It is produced from glass. And then it is considered as discovery of cathode rays. Cathode is emitting something radiations. Because of that radiations, glass start glowing. Now scientists discovered another substance that is named as zinc sulfide. Don't call sulfate. The name is zinc sulfide. So scientists got the knowledge that if invisible radiations, particularly high energy invisible radiations, they are falling on zinc sulfide, then zinc sulfide start glowing white color, white light. Now substance is there, therefore I am telling important information. Maximum compounds of zinc are white only. Those who are compounds formed directly by zinc, like zinc oxide, zinc chloride, zinc sulfide, always keep in mind zinc compounds are having white color. Technically speaking, we have to say they are colorless. But practically speaking, we are saying it is white. But ultimately, we have to say it is colorless. So zinc sulfide is almost colorless, but we are saying it is white. You might have noticed in old days that tube lights were there, not LED tube light, but having choke, starter, like that tube lights were there. In that tube light, this white color powder is kept, that is zinc sulfide. Whereas invisible radiations, particularly beam of electron and ions, they are getting collided with that screen and it start glowing, giving white color. So you have observed this on. So this is zinc sulfide screen. Now scientists applied zinc sulfide over here. In this portion, they applied zinc sulfide and they realized that this portion is glowing with white light, now not green. They applied green light, zinc sulfide everywhere, but only opposite to the cathode, that portion is glowing. Now they change the location of anode. They placed anode here now. This is now anode. They change the direction of anode. Still they observe radiations are going perpendicular to the surface of cathode. That means it was very clear that radiations were emitted by cathode. Presence of anode is important, but direction of anode is not important. You can place anywhere anode here. So this way, first data of cathode rays that we got, that cathode radiations are produced by cathode. They are perpendicular to surface of cathode. Position of anode is not mattering out this. Now some modified tubes were produced. Again I am telling these are all schematic diagram. You can consider this is now something like TV screen. Now here we have placed anode. This is something like TV screen, from front side it is rectangular. So like that tubes are produced where they place here track. Okay, but prior to track, just consider, forget of track. First consider this way. They place here anode, cathode, and they place external electrical field. So this is positively charged, this is negatively charged. Why I am saying here external electric field? The thing is that this is internal electric field. This is placed outside tube, but considerable high voltage is applied. You will find the beam that was going straight line initially, but in application of this electrical field, beam started deviating means change the path towards positive plate. You are aware there is attraction between positive and negative. So here negatively positive, they are getting attracted towards positive. That means cathode rays must possess negative charge. So this is one more information we got. Now just as I explained, they place here track. Again and again I am telling, this is all schematic diagram. Don't ask me how track is floating there and all that. And they place here a wheel. Something like this. Wheel is placed here and they started current. You will get the wheel is rotating in this direction. That means cathode rays possess mass because they are able to implement force. Because of force only motion is there. Without force motion is not possible. You are aware of the formula F equal to mass into acceleration. As a result, force is there, that means there must be mass and acceleration. So cathode rays possess mass. And then based on previous data that how the curve is there and what is the deviation of cathode rays in presence of electrical charge, and then what is the mass of wheel, what is force required to move that, and with what speed it is getting. Scientists were able to calculate a ratio. This ratio that is called as E by M ratio. E stands for charge and M stands for mass. So here we are getting E by M ratio, that is charge to mass ratio. So here we got now ratio, that is charge to mass ratio for cathode rays. So this is all we can describe something about cathode ray.